In this video, we will review some common activities we may take on a ticket, including reassigning, updating, and editing the ticket. Our first step is to open a ticket. You can open a ticket by clicking on its ID or title, either from a desktop module or in the ticket's home base in the ticketing application. In this case, we're going to click on a ticket in one of our desktop modules. Once we've opened our ticket, we can find most of the common actions we'll take by clicking the Actions button. The Actions button includes a number of possible functions. Note that based on your permissions, you may not have the same options in your Actions menu as we have on the screen. While there are quite a few options in the Actions menu, we'll only be focusing on the most common actions during this session. We'll cover the rest of the items in the Actions menu in a separate session. Let's walk through some common actions you may take on a ticket, starting with assigning responsibility. You may need to change the responsibility on a ticket if it was created unassigned, if the ticket is assigned to the wrong person or group, or as part of your regular business process. In any case, someone would need to assign responsibility for the ticket so that a person or group can complete the work. Let's assign the ticket to the appropriate group. In the Actions menu, click Assign Incident or Assign Service Request. The word that appears in the Action menu depends on the classification of the ticket. In our case, it's an incident, so our menu says Assign Incident. Clicking Assign Incident opens a new window, which lists the current responsibility and gives us the option to select a person or group to set the new responsibility to. We can pick any person who has access to this ticketing application, or any group with at least one member who has access to this ticketing application. People or groups who don't have access to this ticketing application won't show up when we search for them in the responsibility field. Optionally, we can include a message to the new responsible person or group and notify them by email about the new assignment. The message you add and any notification you send will be added to the feed at the bottom of the ticket. If the ticket you're looking at is already assigned to a group you are a member of, you'll have the option to take the incident. By clicking Take Incident and then clicking OK on the confirmation window, we can quickly assign the ticket to ourselves, indicating to the rest of the group that we will take responsibility for the ticket. Another common activity we may take is to update the ticket. We may update the ticket when we complete a milestone during the work, or if we need to change the status of the ticket. Updating the ticket is also how we'll close the ticket when we're done working on it. Let's update the status of our ticket to indicate that we're working on it. First, we'll click Actions, then Update. The window that opens displays various fields that we can update in the ticket. The current status is visible in the top right corner of the window. We can use the New Status drop-down menu to choose a new status. The ticket status indicates the state of the ticket in its life cycle. In this case, we're working on the ticket, so we'll choose a status of In Process. When updating the status, a status comment is also required. You may have a button labeled Templates in the top left corner of the text area. You can use this menu to choose a response template or canned response that your Team Dynamics administrator has configured. Response templates are dynamic, pulling in information from the ticket such as requester's name and the technician's name. Response templates are often helpful when communicating with the requester, such as providing frequently requested information, asking routine questions, or sharing steps to resolve an issue. If the status comment is intended for someone specifically, we can use the Notify box to choose a person or group associated with the ticket. You may have noticed that in this application, the requester is notified by default. If you'd like to notify additional people or groups that are associated with the ticket, you can select them from the drop-down. Alternately, if you'd like to notify everyone involved in the ticket, you can click the group icon and add them all at once. If you'd like to notify someone else who is not already associated with the ticket, you can use the Notify Other People box to select them. Note that only people who have a record in Team Dynamics will appear when you begin typing a name into this box. If the person you want to notify doesn't have a record in Team Dynamics, you can enter their email address in the Other Email Addresses box. It's also possible to add an internal update for other ticketing application users. You can use an internal update to add additional contextual information that may be helpful to others viewing the ticket in TD Next. When making an internal update, you may want to mark the update as private. The private checkbox controls whether the update appears in the client portal. By making the update private, the only people who can see it are those viewing the ticket in this ticketing application. Since we are updating the ticket to notify the requester, we will want to make sure the private box is unchecked so they can see the update when they check the client portal. It's important to note that the private checkbox only controls whether the comments are visible in the client portal. If you choose to send a notification to the requester, they'll still receive an email even if the update is marked private. If the update is marked private but the person you're notifying isn't a member of the ticketing application, an alert will appear to indicate this to you and suggest making the comment public. Now that we've covered updating a ticket, let's go into editing tickets. In some cases, tickets may come in with information that needs to be corrected or fields that would benefit from further context. If you need to make changes to the ticket outside of just the status, you can edit the ticket to change its values. You will do this using the Edit button at the top of the ticket. When we click the Edit button at the top, we can see all of the fields that appear on the ticket. Here we have the ability to modify or add to any of the fields. Some of the fields have an asterisk beside them, which indicates that they are required. You won't be able to save the ticket unless all of the required fields are filled in. Any of the other optional fields can be left blank, but note that any fields that are left blank won't show up on the ticket detail screen. Now you know how to reassign, update, and edit tickets in the ticketing application. Take a look at some of the tickets in your ticketing application and get some practice with these 3 common activities.